Hey guys, this is Dot. Oh man, I wanted to really talk about this particular topic because people are talking about mirroring. And then there's all this psychology stuff or whatever about it. It's a um it's a buzzword, it's a hot topic. Everybody has their 2 cents and I have mine. So I realized that yes, mirroring is a thing. Yet I noticed that even that particular concept has some nuance to it. See, I'm the type of person that likes to evolve and really work on myself. Like actual real deep healing, self-improvement type stuff. I hold myself accountable and I'm willing to tell myself the bitter, brutal truth, even if it, and I face this truth even if it brings me to tears and I literally experience a soul cry and like heartbreak, even from the truth that I face. And I'm willing to do it. And it's just something that I'm just like, hey, there is a philosophy behind it, but that I have particularly behind it, and I'll think about if I want to share it or not. I might, but that'll be in another video. Um, but I am more than willing to hold accountability for myself, and it's very important for me to see my situation from the outside looking in and to consider multiple perceptions of myself because I scrutinize myself a lot. Um this is common with the turbulent versions of the personalities. So like I'm not sure if you the listener are familiar with the 16 personality types, but there's like a Myers, I think it's Myers Briggs, I think that's what it's called, personality test, and I'm a INFP turbulent. So the turbulent ones are always scrutinizing themselves. They're like raking themselves over the coal. They're not really comfortable with being stagnant and they're constantly trying to push themselves and evolve. Whereas the assertive types, they're very secure in whatever personality they have. They're very secure, steadfast in it. And, you know, so as an INFP, I'm perceiving. So I'm always like questioning things, like trying to gather perspective, like piecing together things, and there's some more about it, but and I kind of went on a tangent there, but that's just in a synopsis how my personality is. It's not just me trying to say things about myself to make myself look good or whatever. This is just, it's just what it is. It's just how Ti is. Okay, so what I notice is that because I scrutinize myself so much, if I'm a mirror to somebody, then you're going to get a very good perception of who you are reflected back to you. Whereas the people that I've been around, they've been like the house of mirrors to me. They've been like these clownishly distorted mirrors back to me. So like, and it's even when people try to mirror what I say to them. And I'm searching for a really good example. Um yeah, so just give me a second. Okay, so I have an example, but I'm not exactly sure if I can articulate it, but I'm going to do my absolute level best. So I was talking to somebody, and um this we were in a conversation, and I noticed that the conversations, there was a pattern of the conversations becoming very circular, and there was a lack of accountability on his part and things like that. And so I just ended up saying, just in conversations, like, hey, you know, I would anticipate his next moves, of course, because when you're in these unsafe interpersonal dynamics or whatever, like I was emotionally unsafe. Um, I get to a point where I've seen this pattern before. I know that I need to start protecting myself or whatever, or I know it's protect myself mode. So I'm just like, okay, I need to disengage. And so I would say stuff like, he would be talking about something or another. I'll probably think about what he said exactly as I'm giving the example. But I started saying something along the lines of, oh, this thing that I'm saying, it didn't come out of nowhere. Like, you've been showing me for the past X amount of months or years that um that this is what you do. And it's and I think I got it down to like a few words where it's just like, I would just say, well, that didn't come out of nowhere, or there's a reason for this, or something like that. And then, so the distorted mirror that was reflected back to me was, he would randomly say, or he just started saying, because I was saying this thing, and I also anticipated him using this term back to me, because that's common with distorted mirrors. They're using your exact words, your exact lingo back to you, but you can tell that beneath the surface of what they're saying, they have nothing to back it up. So here's an example. So in the next conversation, actually it might have been two other conversations that happened. So like the third conversation, once I said, oh, yeah, but that happens for a reason, then he pops back to me and says, well, that happens for a reason. And I'm just like, okay, what so I pressed him, and I'm just like, okay, well, what's the reason? Do you know that this dude could not tell me an itemized list of what he was referring to? Like, if you're saying something like that, you should be able to clearly back it up. Be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this or whatever, or I'm saying this because of this and this and this reason. But he had literally absolutely nothing to say about it. And I'm just like, well, if it's real, if you are real 10 toes down and so serious about what you just said, you should be able to clearly point me in the direction. Just rattle off a list of things that you had in your mind when you let these words fly out of your mouth. If not, you're making it very clear to me that you said this literally just to have something to say back to me that are my own words. This has happened so many times. And with this particular person, and I'm just like, dude, you're just so circular. Like, I could just see you, like, you're not a clear mirror for me. You're like this distorted mirror. And like, when the time comes to disengage and I can safely do it or whatever, that'll be that. But it's really interesting with dealing with certain individuals that you don't take at face value mirroring as just mirroring. Sometimes you're a clean mirror for someone, and sometimes they're a distorted mirror for you. And that is okay. You're not looking down on people for recognizing this fact. This is what I had to come to terms with. You're just telling it like a TI is. If somebody is a distorted mirror for you and you know that whatever they're reflecting back is not a true version of you, you feel like you're in the house of mirrors with them, then it's okay to notice that. It's okay for that to be the case. Honor that and accept the fact that you have this amount of clarity. And that's what I had to tell myself. Just wanted to point this out here. I mean, just wanted to point that out, have the discussion. Please learn from my life lessons and talk to you all later. Peace.